it was a wild town, man. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I can second that emotion. You know what I'm saying? I'm from a wild town. You know what I'm saying? So, coming from a background like that, right? How did you even get introduced to the music? You know what I'm saying?
Shit. To be honest, I think I mean old school shit, man. I mean, I heard the Fat Boys, Bus Crew, all that shit, man, when I was coming up, man.
That's a fact. That's a
Yeah.
fact. So
Run
what is
DMC,
what
LL, all that shit.
the legends, the greats? You see what I'm saying? So, Run DMC, LL, like what was it about them doing what they do that made you want to do what you do? You know what I'm saying? What is it about how they laid it down that influenced you to come lay it down? You know what I'm saying?
The drums. It's always about the drums, man.
Okay, so is that how you like, when you go off, we gonna kind of jump around, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you first hit the studio and you sit down, you see what I'm saying, you about to make a track, you hear me? What's the, like, I don't want to say ritual, but do you have a certain process that you go through? Like, you gotta smoke, you gotta drink your coffee, you know what I'm saying, you gotta smoke a cigarette, you see what I'm saying? Do you have a certain little process you go through, you hear me? Or you just get, you know what I'm saying, you get in there and you make the music, you hear me?
Um, it's always the drums, pretty much for me, man. It's always the drums or a bass line or something like that. Every once in a while, it might be a melody or something, but it's mainly just drums. I hear drums in my head every day, all day.
That's a fact. And by the way, this is the newest member of the 24/7 Grind INC family, you know what I'm saying? Super producer. You see what I'm saying? Cannon, they love beats. So, do you have a certain style of beat like trap, rap, R&B, you know what I'm saying? Soul, or you just take it how it come, you hear me?
I try to mix them all together for real, man. I mean, to be honest. And then really it's the mood, whatever like mood I'm in or whatever I'm thinking or see or whatever. That's how I fuck with
That's a fact. That's a fact. So, when you first jumped into this, you see what I'm saying? Do you remember the first track that you ever made?
it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What kind of beat? What kind of track was it? Was it a rap track or a beat track?
It was a rap track, man. I took a sample. Uh, shit, I can't think of the name of the sample, but I took a sample, chopped that bitch, and looped it. That was that, man. Went from
Okay.
there.
All right. That's a fact.
The beat was called the original. I do remember that.
So how do you like people usually take the chorus and use it for the name? You see what I'm saying? How do you come up with the names for the tracks? You heard me?
When I'm almost done with it, I'll just sit
Yeah.
and keep listening to it, and whatever pop in my head, man.
That's a
And then I
fact.
try
That's
to
a
match the
fact. So
artwork with the shit, you know.
that's a fact. You heard me? So you mentioned some rappers. You see what I'm saying? Was it any producers that you looked up to? You know what I'm saying? Or inspired you before you started doing what you do to do what you do? And what was it about them that inspired you? You heard me?
DJ Premier, yeah,
That's a
old
fact. That's a
Gangstar
fact.
shit, man. Pete Rock, uh, I mean, Large Professor, a lot of old cats, man. But I just like the way they put a lot of sounds together, man. I think that
That's a
shit's
fact.
important, man.
That's a fact. So, speaking of importance, right? What do you think is the most important part of the song? Is it the artist? Is it the production? Or is it the mix down? And give us your accounts of why you have that opinion. You heard me?
Well, I mean, first you got to have a decent mix. I mean, a good mix. But I think shit, man. I really think it's kind of 50-50. I mean, the artist, have their how their flow is. It's got to match with that beat, and vice versa. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. That's a fact. So when
Yeah.
you first jumped in this thing, right? Did you have to get your feet wet? You know what I'm saying? Did you jump in this thing and get hit the ground running? You heard me? Did it take you a little time to catch on to do what you was doing? You know what I'm saying? How long did it take you from start to becoming Kennedy Beach? You heard me?
Yeah, about 10 years. Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, about
So
10
it don't
years,
happen
man.
overnight?
At
It
least
don't
not
happen
for me, it
overnight?
didn't. Nah, man. At least
Mm.
not for me.
That's a fact. So that's a misconception, right? When you jumped in this thing, you heard me. Did you jump in this thing as a hobby? Did you jump in this thing as a aspirations? You heard me of being who you are today, or it all just kind of fell in your lap and you played it how it go? You heard me.
I mean, I wanted to get into it. I mean, I first started breakdancing, shit, DJing, and then rapping. And then I was like, shit, man. Life happens, so you got to get a real gig. So I just kept doing it as a hobby, as they want to say, and why not try
That's
to
a
keep going?
That's a fact. That's a fact. So being a producer, that's like the most. I'm gonna say the most important, but that's a pretty important part of the song. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Because sometimes
yeah,
these niggas beats me the whole song. You see what I'm saying? So
right.
does that put a kind of extra chip on your shoulder? You see what I'm saying? Like, does that make it more difficult, or like you gotta go hard, or you just, you know what I'm saying? You got your own style. You understand your style, and you only make your beats for people who like-minded and understand your style. You know what I mean?
It, my own style, man. I mean, everybody got their own lane or whatever, but I mean, I get some cats that tell me, hey man, your shit is nice, it's just not my cup of tea. And then, you get cats that be like, yo, I want that. That's that shit. Can you move that? Whatever. I just go with it like that, bro.
It's a fact. It's a fact. Is it a difficult thing being a producer? You know what I'm saying? Like, and could you define what a producer is? Exactly what that is. You heard me?
I mean, there's this whole thing going on with beat makers and producers. I
Right.
mean, a producer could be a guy just sitting in there. He might hire an orchestra, come in, listen to the joint, chop up different elements in it, or you might work on a bass line for 8 hours. You know what I mean? You might have the concept. If you're working with an artist, you might have a concept, and both of you and the artist start from scratch and build it from there. It's like shit, cooking up a recipe. You know what I mean? You try this. You might not put this much salt in this dish or pepper or whatever. I mean, that's just
That's a
how it
fact.
works.
That's a fact. So you mentioned a lot of the originators. You see what I'm saying? So you
Mhm.
come from when hip hop was hip hop. Now niggas just rap. You see what I'm saying? In
Right,
my opinion,
right,
you heard me. So
right.
from you being the OG, right? What's the biggest differences that you see in the music being made and played now than the music being made and played when you was coming up in the game? You heard me?
When I was coming up, it was focused more on the lyrics. Now, maybe not so much. You know what I mean? Now I think it's kind of beat driven, which I mean that's cool. That's good for producers. But yeah, when I was coming up, it was more about like who had the best spit. Who said the best punchline? That kind of shit.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You heard me? So when you got in the game, you see what I'm saying? Did you have a certain type of artist that you wanted to work with? Or did you want it all to smoke? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your favorite genre of music track to make? You heard me?
I always wanted to work with Scarface. Yeah,
Was
yeah,
he a big influence in your in your rap in rabbit too?
yep,
Yeah, yeah, you see what I'm saying? I fuck with
yep,
Scarface, you see what I'm saying? I fuck with
yeah.
Scarface. So coming in the game now, right? To me, you one of the best, right? Where do you place yourself in today's game? You see what I'm saying?
Shit. Um, I think I can compete. Definitely can compete. You know what I mean? But I hear a lot of cats and they should be smoking, man. So uh, I definitely think I can compete. I definitely think motherfuckers could jump on my shit and make a hit. You know what I mean? And that's not being arrogant. That's just like being confident. Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta tell your story, you see what I'm saying? So you started off
right.
rap, right? How did
Yeah.
it turn into the tracks? You heard me? What happened to the rap and what made you turn to the tracks? You heard me?
Uh, More control. Yeah.
What you mean?
More control. Like I started off using like a lot of samples. You know what I mean? Throw a drum on that bitch, chop it up, shit like that. And then I was like, you know what? I think this is my lane, my lane. It took me too long to write raps. I mean, yeah, I
You can't rush
yeah,
greatness, man.
I
You
couldn't
can't rush
freestyle.
greatness.
I just couldn't freestyle. I mean, shit didn't. I have to sit there and listen to the beat and shit like that. And I was like, man, let me try doing production. And that's where it
That's a
went,
fact.
man.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? See, when you sitting in the studio, you know what I'm saying, you putting them drums with them snares and all that, you heard me? What does that do for you as a person? You see what I'm saying? What does making these tracks do for you personally? Is it kind of type of therapy, you heard me? Is it just a hobby, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? You trying to be the best in the world? What does it do for you personally, you heard me?
It's definitely therapy, dog. It's definitely therapy. Yeah, yeah, big time. I mean, like
That's,
I was saying earlier, uh, I'll make beats based on whatever mood I'm in. You know what I mean? You know, I just hit me a Celsius or something. You know, I'm all pumped up. You might get that hype ass beat. Shit. You know,
yeah,
if I'm chilling, then you might get that smooth shit. You dig? Or if I'm just in a regular mood, you get that in between. To me,
yeah.
I think that's what music is. It's supposed to tell a story, and it's supposed to take you somewhere. You know what I mean?
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to. You know what I mean? I mean, I
Yes, sir.
used to hear shit back in the day and be like, damn, this shit makes me want to get up and fight. Or this shit gonna put me to sleep. Or, you throw on a slow jam, you know what time it is, right? I mean, there you go. You
That's a
dig?
fact.
So,
That's a fact. Yeah, hell yeah.
yeah.
You heard me too. When you first jumped in this shit, you heard me. Did you know it was gonna be all this? Like, did you know you was gonna was Kennedy Beats your original name? And did you know you was gonna take it this far? You see what I'm saying? Or you just jumped in because it was something you had wanted to do, you heard me?
It was something I wanted to do, man. I mean, I had no knowledge of the business aspect of it or nothing, man. I mean, I started as a teenager. I was like, shit, man, I could do that. And then, I mean, everybody had a lunch table. You feet on that lunch table, man, right?
Yeah,
You
hell
take your
yeah.
pen, everything. You was rolling, and I was like, shit. I always hear the sounds in my head, man. So let me learn how to put that shit out, man. And
That's
that's
a
what I did.
fact. That's a fact. Now I'm gonna ask you. I asked you what does the making the music do for you, right? But when you putting out these tracks, right? When you making these tracks for certain genres of music, right? The audience, right? What type of feeling do you want your tracks to have on your audience? You know what I'm saying?
Tell a story. I always was told that, yo, man, your shit sound like it should be in a movie scene or something like that. Paint the picture. Paint the picture. You know what I mean? And I don't really like fucking with cats that don't have no substance. Like, I mean, you can get up there and chant for 3 minutes if you want to, but I mean, what's that gonna do?
That's a fact. That's a
You know what I
fact.
mean?
So, along the way, right? What are some of the lessons that you learn along the way? You know what I'm saying? And at what point? Because I asked you this earlier, right? At what point did music go from, like you say, the LL Cool J's, like that type of rap? You see what I'm saying? To what it is now. If you could pinpoint like the year or the time or you know what I'm saying, a certain event that the music went to change in this way, what would that be? You heard me?
I'd say the 2000s. I'd
The
say early
2000.
2000s. Yeah,
That's a
to me.
fact.
You know what I
That's a
mean?
fact.
That's what I'm
That's a
thinking.
fact.
I mean, I think there's a lot of talented cats out right now that just need to find their own originality. You know what I mean? Don't ride a trend because trends always fail. You know what I mean? It's like what's popular
Everybody
right
can't
now
be
might
young
not be
boy.
popular later. Right, right.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So when you putting these beats out, you see what I'm saying? Is it a certain type of artist that you shop, or you just like, you know what I'm saying, whoever come get it, that's who come get it, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you make
Whoever,
personal orders? Yeah.
whoever come get it. You know what I
That's
mean?
a, mm-hmm.
There it is. If you fuck with it, go for it. Take it. Run with it. You know what I mean? And I mean,
That's a
then
fact.
I mean, of course, if somebody say, "Hey, man, can you do this kind of joint for me?" Obviously, yes. But me, it's like, here it is. Take it.
That's a fact. How long you been doing this total, Can?
Seriously, like 10 years. Like on the grind for 10 years.
Okay. And before them 10 years, you know what I'm saying? What clicked in your head that, all right, I got this shit, I know this shit, I'm a dog at this shit, it's time to start making money off of this, you heard me? What clicked in your head at that time?
Man, my trade job is working on air conditioning. I'm tired of that shit. You dig? That's when I was like, all right, okay, let me see if I can do something else. There you
That's
have
a
it.
fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. You see what I'm saying? So, out of all the tracks, right? If you could remember, right? Can you put a certain number on how many tracks you've done from the rooter to the tutor, from the first one you ever did to the latest one you ever? I got most of your latest. You see what I'm
Right?
saying? But from that first track you did to the most latest one, can you give us an exact number or at least an estimate of how many tracks you've done?
That's funny. I was going through my hard drive yesterday, man, and shit, I just say since 2024, I got over 1,000 beats just since 2024. You know what I
That's a
mean?
fact.
So I mean, I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you a whole total, but I mean, like on my hard drive, it's over 1,000 beats from 2024.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So let me ask you this. You heard me? If you had three mainstream artists, you heard me, that you can work with, who would they be, and why would you choose these three artists to work with? You heard me?
One is you, nigga. I mean, I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you and your crew, dog.
That's a
There you
fact.
go.
Hey, you making me
That's
look
a
good,
fact.
motherfucker. Can yeah, I fuck with
That's it.
that. I fuck with
That's
that.
it.
Yes, that means so. Boom, you heard me. Is there any other genre of entertainment that you involved in, like fashion? You know what I'm saying? Maybe acting. You know what I'm saying? Or is it any other ones that you want to get your feet wet in, or you just straight with the tracks?
Well, shit, man. I got, everybody got T-shirts. I got the T-shirts, the merchandise, shit like that. But I got coffee and hot sauce.
Wait. You got who?
Coffee and hot sauce.
You got coffee and hot sauce?
Yep,
Like trademark real coffee and hot sauce?
real, real deal.
How you got into that?
Shit, man. I just was studying shit online, man, and found a white label where, boom, they process the shit for you. You put your brand on it. Yeah.
So you've been doing this professionally 10 years, but obviously you started before that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
For the
Right.
young for the young producers that's thinking about getting in the game or just got in the game, you heard me? What's the best piece of advice you could give them because you on your OG status? You know what I'm saying? For the young ones just starting out.
Learn everything you can. Learn everything you can, and make sure you got your own sound.
It's a fact.
That
Like
I mean,
speaking of learning,
go ahead. Go ahead. My bad.
okay, speaking of doing your own thing, you see what I'm saying? In the world, in the game full of everybody else, you know what I'm saying? In the game full of young boys, game full of little babies, right? What can you explain the importance of originality and explain to us what makes you different from any other producer that we already been previously served on our plates?
Shit, man. I mean, put it this way: you got how many hamburger chains, right? You got McDonald's, Burger King, Five Guys, all that shit. I mean, you got to have that signature sauce, man. You know what I mean? I mean, there you go. Some places had a whole onion, some places had a chopped onion. Find your lane. Find your lane. Because the more original you are, the longer you'll be in the game. That's it.
That's a fact. Is it all fun and games, Can? You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Does it get hard? Does it get frustrating? You hear me? Does it get? Have you ever been on the verge of giving it up? You know what I'm saying? And if you was, tell us why, and then tell us what kept you in the game. You hear me?
Shit. Yeah, it's definitely frustrating, man. And I mean, pro tip, any artist, I mean, most of them probably know this, man. Get you, find you a trade, all right, that you can always fall back on, for one, and then just build from there. That's my best piece of advice, man. I mean, because you still got to eat. You know what I mean? You still got to get you a car, put gas in that bitch.
Yeah,
Clothes on your ass, the whole nine. Find you a
that's a fact.
trade, get
That's
with
a
that
fact.
shit, learn everything you can. I mean, if you good at, being a carpenter or fucking basketball, whatever your shit is, do that shit to the fullest and then pursue this shit and make it happen.
So about more than 15 years in the game, right? You didn't seen it all, right? Do you still have the same love for this as you had when making that first track? You heard me? Has your love grown? Has it diminished? Has it stayed the same? Speak on your love for this shit, you heard me?
It's still the same, man. It's still the same. I mean, I enjoy doing this shit, man. You know what I mean? I mean,
Right.
shit. I mean, I probably would say I have more love for it now than I did when I first started. Because I see more. I'm starting to see the results. You did. You know what I mean? You first start, you make that beat. You at school, you like, yo, check this shit out. Niggas is like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's tight. That's because that's your partner and shit. You dig? But when you start hooking up with, okay, it's just like you got a star basketball player at your school. As soon as he hit college, he got to compete. NBA, he got to compete. There you go. You got to stay sharp with your shit, man.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So earlier you mentioned, you know what I'm saying, you started out and then you got better. You heard me? When you went to, getting your feet wet and really learning the game, right? What was some of the misconceptions that you had before you jumped in the game that when you jumped in the game, you quickly found out you had the game fucked up? You heard me?
When I first jumped in the game, I thought it was like a regular job. You do a song, you master that bitch, you put it out, and you almost get like a paycheck every 2 weeks. Ah, that ain't how that shit works, dog. You know, yeah. I mean,
That's a fact.
I didn't know nothing about publishing, all the royalties, the splits, none of that shit, man. I didn't. Nobody told me. I just jumped into shit. You know what I mean? It's sink or swim. If you really with it, you gonna learn the business. You know what I mean?
You gotta get pushed in
Uh,
the pool. You can't have none of the
right,
floaties on, huh?
right. You sink or
That's a
swim.
fact.
And if you really about that shit, the first thing, and that's another tip I give to anybody getting in the game as an artist, producer, or both. Learn the game, the business. That way you don't get fucked over. That way you not fucking over nobody. And be honest with yourself. You ain't like, uh, don't rate yourself a 10 and your ass ain't nothing but a 4 or 5 right now. You got to evolve.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So you mentioned you rap, you mentioned you break dance, right? But you
Yeah.
stuck with this beat shit for 15, damn near 20 years, right? What is it about them tracks, you heard me, that you just couldn't leave alone? You know what I'm saying? What is it about them tracks that just kept you interested this long? You know what I'm saying?
If it wasn't for the music, I didn't I wouldn't be breakdancing. You dig? If it wasn't for the music or the beat itself, I wouldn't be rapping. It was always something to me. That's what gets your attention. Then you start listening to what they saying.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You
So
know.
you've been through a lot of eras in hip hop. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Give us your favorite era and why. Because they had the bebopping. You see what I'm saying? Then they had the I guess the because Big Daddy Kane and them didn't come out till later. You see what I'm saying? But they had a
Right.
lot of different. You see what I'm saying? Like, was it difficult keeping up with all of the genres back then? Because now everything could kind of sound the same. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Was it difficult keeping up with the genres? And what's the most difficult task that you've came in contact with? And tell the people how you jumped over that hurdle. You heard me?
Shit, man. I mean, uh, as an old head, I'm gonna give away my age. I first heard Big Daddy Kane when I was in the 7th grade. You know what I mean? Uh, I kind of like how it evolved to more heavier percussion versus just sample based music. You know what I mean? To me, I like the fact that that as far as beat wise, it is evolved to where it's more original beats. It's not. I mean, people still sample or recreate a melody or something like that. You dig? But it's more. I have to credit the South for making it more percussion driven. You know what I mean? I just have to. You know. Yeah.
That's a
I
fact.
mean,
That's a fact.
I like where it's going. I mean, I just think that my only beef is all the auto tune.
You don't like, you're not an auto tune person?
Uh, Not everybody should be doing using auto tune. That's just me. You know what I mean? I mean, there you go.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You hear me? So I asked the artist, right? You see what I'm saying? When you sitting down and putting that pen to the paper, you see what I'm saying? What's your motivation? Where does the bars come from? You see what I'm saying? And does it come from real life experiences? Do you paint pictures? You know what I'm saying? Does it come from the lives of the people around you? So I'm gonna ask you as a producer, you see what I'm saying? When you sitting down, you heard me, you know, you type, you got your thing on the computer with the whoop. What's your motivation for that? You see what I'm saying? Like, what motivates you with these beats, you know what I'm saying? To find the sound and to find the type of, like you say, the snares, the bass, and all that, you know what I'm saying? What's your motivation? Where's your motivation come from that?
Painting a picture. It's like I mean, artists painting a picture. Uh, I want people when they hear it to think about something or a situation or a scene or something they've been through or something they got on their chest or whatever. You know, it's like painting a picture. Like shit. Sometimes you want to watch a comedy movie. Sometimes you want to watch a horror movie. There you go. Uh,
That's a fact.
Certain little things might inspire me to make this kind of beat. It's all in the mood and where you want to take it and what you want people to see. You dig?
That's a fact. So you mentioned you do air conditioning. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's that guap. That's that guap. You see what I'm saying? The
yeah.
entertainment and the reality, right? Is that hard to juggle? You see what I'm saying? Do you have trouble, like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you in the studio too long, or you know what I'm saying? You got an appearance, you heard me, but you got a parent teacher conference or something like that. You see what I'm saying? Is it hard separating the music from the reality? You see what I'm saying? Or does it just come fall in your lap and you play it how it go?
Uh, I just play it how it go, man. I mean, there's times I stay up to 3, 4 in the morning and get up and go to work. You dig? If you want this shit, you gonna put in the work. You know what
That's
I
a
mean?
fact.
I mean, ain't nobody gonna just like hand you the shit like here you go. You got to make a decision. I mean, it is what it is. If you want to do it, I mean, you can't be a star player if your ass ain't practicing. You still got to go to school though. You know what I mean? But I mean, you can't hit that court half-ass. You want to be a boxer, you got to get your ass in that gym. You know what I mean? You got to spar. You can't go out there white knuckle and shit. You dig? You
Yeah,
know?
hell yeah. Hell yeah. Fucking right. So being in this game 15, maybe 20 years, this and that, right? Looking back, right? Is it any no's that should have been yeah, you know what I'm saying? Is it any regrets? You see what I'm saying? Maybe you had a deal on the table that you didn't take. Maybe you took a deal that you shouldn't have took. You see what I'm saying? Any regrets in this entertainment shit, you heard me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes, and then when you first get in, especially if you're young, your nose is wide open, man. I mean, people can blow all kind of wind up your ass, tell you all kind of shit. I mean, I get hit by scammers at least 2, 3 times a week. You know, you learn from your mistakes and keep you keep your circle tight and your mind right, dog. That's all you got to do, and always uh, investigate. You know what I mean? If somebody comes to you, hey, yeah, man, I want you to perform this and that. You don't just say yeah, because you see dollar signs or you see exposure. You got to check that shit out, man. Investigate that shit, man. Don't jump into nothing blindfolded, or you will get fucked. You know,
That's a
and
fact.
and,
So
and,
you
and
mentioned
take
when
your
you,
time.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. You mentioned that when you jumped in, you didn't know about the royalties, you know what I'm saying, and all that stuff. Did you learn that lesson the hard way, you know what I'm saying? Or did that come just with the the experience of being in the game. You see what I'm saying? Like, did you get jerked? That's how you found out about it, or did somebody have to inform you? You heard me? Like, take us through that. You heard me?
It was a little bit of both. It was basically, it was a little bit of both. You know what I mean? You know, uh, your average person, it ain't like I could just walk up to a partner of mine and be like, "Yo, man, what should I do? I've been presented with this." Shit, if they don't know nothing about the business, what they gonna tell you? You know. So sometimes you gotta test that water on your own. You know what I mean?
That's
Just be
that's a
prepared to
fact.
get burnt.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You ever thought about giving this shit up? You know what I'm saying? You ever thought about
Yeah,
closing the computer? You know what I'm saying? Just going to find something else to do,
yeah.
or is it, or has that never crossed your mind? You heard me?
Oh yeah, I thought about giving up.
What type
At
of,
one point, man, I had stopped. Shit, I'd say for about 4 or 5 years.
for what?
Just regular life. Let me focus on my career. Gotta pay these fucking bills. Raise a child, all that kind of shit, man. I mean, real life hits your ass harder than anything else. You know what I mean?
What
But
brought you
but
back?
I'll tell you what the turning point was. The turning point was like, okay, I ain't throwing this shit down. Is when I lost my mom. Like, okay, mm, all right, I gotta stick with this shit. Let's go.
That's the therapy, right? That's where the
Right,
therapy comes from. Me. So
right.
before we go any further, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna hold a moment of silence for moms. You heard me?
Yep.
So after losing moms, right? How did your career change? Did that affect your career? Like, did you like some artists get writer's block? Like, do you get producer block or whatever? Like, so I'm saying, like, did that make it harder, or did you want to go harder at the loss of your mom? You know what I'm saying?
It made me want to go harder. Yeah, it made me want to go harder. Yeah, like buckle down and do this shit.
That's a,
I have been, you tell your mom your dreams and all that kind of shit. I want to tell, like, see, boom, I stuck with it, and here's the result. I may not be no super producer and shit like that, but as long as I can feed the people what they want, they like the shit, I'm good.
that's the fact. That's a fact. You hear me? What's the top three things that a new artist and a new producer should know before they jump in this shit? What's some of the red flags? You know what I'm saying? Some of the I call it lawyer talk. You see what I'm saying? You know, them lawyers and them doctors, they got that certain type of lingo. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And if you ain't previous to it, you don't know what they talking about. You see what I'm saying? So
right.
what's the top three red flags that both producers and the rappers should worry about when in this entertainment shit?
Pay attention, pay attention, and pay attention.
That's a
Right?
fact. That's a fact.
That's
That's a
it.
fact.
Learn, and pay attention. Don't worry. Uh, if you got it, don't chase fame.
What you mean by that?
For example, a lot of cats don't get the recognition until after they get out of the game. I mean, and this is no disrespect, but to me, for example, Tupac is more popular now than when he was alive.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
fact. That's a fact.
You
You hear
know,
me? That's a fact.
yeah.
You hear me? Is it any genres that you don't fuck with, like such as drill or country music or things like that, or you can make a beat for anything?
I fuck with it all, dog. I fuck with it all. I mean, I might have a hard time with like folk music and shit like that, shit. But I fuck with it all. I mean, everybody's telling their story. You know what I mean? Hard
That's a
rock, whatever. You know what I mean? Country music. I mean, because to me, the closest thing to rap is country music. If you think about it,
fact. I would
they
say
ain't
rock
really
and roll.
singing. Y- Yeah, rock and roll, rhythm wise. But I mean, if you listen to country, they ain't doing. I mean, especially nowadays, they rapping over a guitar basically. All they need is heavy drums.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You
You hear
know,
me? So, a producer, right? Does he just do the tracks? Does he mix and master? You see what I'm saying? Like, what are the responsibilities of a producer. You see what I'm saying?
Everything, everything. It can start with even just the concept. You know what I mean? I mean, if you do a beat, I know how I want that drum to sound. So I better learn how to mix and master. You know what I mean? You might not have the master shit say on your laptop or in your setup or whatever, but I wouldn't just send my shit off to somebody and be like, here, master this, mix and master this for me. There's a when I made the track, it had to sound like this. You know what I mean?
That's a
Yeah.
fact. That's
I
a
mean,
fact.
yeah.
Have anybody tried to put their work over your work? Like, are you speaking off of just the knowledge of it, or are you speaking from personal experience? You heard me? Like, take us through some of the personal experiences that you've had while through these 20 years. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, when I first, well, I say midway in, man, there was an older guy, and I would go to his studio, and I'd have my shit and he'd pull it up on the board, and he'd look at me and he'd be like, "Your snare is flat," and I'm like, "What you mean?" And he'll show me the difference. I never got offended when people said, "Hey, this don't sound right. You need to do this." I never got offended. That's another lesson that young cats need. You got to
Constructive
have thick
criticism.
skin. Right,
Constructive criticism. You see what I'm saying?
right,
So
yeah.
a lot of artists say that they don't make music for the consumer, they make music for them. You see what I'm saying? When it comes down to the tracks, you hear me? Do you make the tracks that you want? You hear me? Do you make the track for the artist, or are you making the track for the people that's gonna listen to the music? You see what I'm saying? Or is there a difference?
I try to make it for the masses. You know what I mean? Like for example, I look at let's say my BeatStars page, right? And the shit that niggas be downloading, I'll be like, wow, I didn't even really like that beat. I didn't think nobody would like that beat. I'm not the rapper. I'm not the consumer. You know what I mean? If you making a steak, unless you making it for yourself, if you got a restaurant, you can't season it the way you like it.
Some people can't
You
eat
dig?
salt. Yeah, hell
Right?
yes. Some people
You
can't eat
got. I
salt.
mean, right? It's the consumers. I mean, they're your fans. They're the ones that's buying your product and all that shit. You got to make it for them. I mean, to be honest. I mean, if you're doing this as a business, and that's what a lot of cats ain't doing. You run across people all the time. Oh yeah, man. Can I get that beat? Yeah, send me the beat. What's up, man? A year later, they ain't did shit with it. Okay, all right. They ain't taking it. This is a craft. You got to take that shit serious. Just
So
that simple. You know what I mean?
you from the old school, right? Now
Yeah.
everything on internet. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Coming from the old school, listening to people like you mentioned, right? The internet, right? Did you have a tough time adjusting to the internet? And do you think the internet helped or hurt the industry?
I think it helped the industry. I really do, especially the small artists, the independent. I think it helped. You know what I mean? There's always going to be some drawbacks, some little things. Everything ain't perfect, but I mean, shit with the internet. I mean, you got more. You can get more of a fan base right away. You know what I mean? I mean, there might be niggas in Poland or Russia that's fucking with your shit before the nigga in your own neighborhood.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. You heard me? That's a fact. So going through this game, right? It's a dirty game, right? What are some of the slick shit that you witnessed? You know what I'm saying? I know it's the copyright shit. Has anybody tried to steal your tracks? You know what I'm saying? Like, and if they did, how did you go about getting it back? You know what I'm saying? And speak on the importance of that paperwork, of educating yourself about behind the scenes. Because anybody could walk up and spit on a mic, you see what I'm saying? But you
Right,
don't know, you gotta market yourself, you gotta promote yourself, you gotta find a target audience and all of that, you know what I'm
right,
saying? Speak on
right.
that right there, you hear me?
Education, man. Educate yourself. I mean, you wouldn't buy a car without test driving that shit, kid. You know what I mean? Just because you wanted a car, right? I would test drive that shit, see what the blue book got, whatever. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like getting to know a person. Shit, check them out, ask a few questions and shit, test them a little bit, see what's happening. Uh, Stay vigilant and stay on top of your game, man. I mean, you're gonna take some losses. I mean, that's life, period. But that shit should strengthen your character, man. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just
That's a
that
fact.
simple. And present yourself about your business. You want somebody to listen to you rap, don't come up to them, slacking and shit. Be serious about that shit, man. Always
Mm.
create leverage. Always create leverage. Like me,
Can you elaborate on what leverage that you creating?
all right. Like for example, if I see somebody, I think, damn, this group or this artist, they tight. You know what I mean? Bam, I'm gonna listen to them, and I might hear a beat similar to their style and send that shit. You know what I mean? Here, check this out, man. What you think? Oh yeah, I like that shit, man. It's what I mean by leverage is build the relationship. You know what I mean? If they
Yes,
take
sir.
off, you taking off right with them.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
you know what I mean? You don't need all that shit up front. I mean, you get that shit. I mean, shit. I mean, there's countless people that say lease the beat for $20, $25. That shit's doing big numbers. But you could have been an asshole and been like, nah, you can't lease that beat. It's only, it's 500. I need 500 for that beat. Everybody trying to eat, man. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
the best way is it's like the old shit from the old school, head front. It's like you pass the baton. Boom. Y'all all on the same team, but you pass that baton. You know who should be the last runner, right?
That's facts.
Play your position.
If you ain't hating, yeah. If you ain't a hater,
There you go. There you
that's a
go.
fact.
There you
That's
go.
that,
And another tip is keep your ego out that shit too. I see a lot of cats with blown up egos. Keep your ego out that shit and quit being so fucking emotional.
what you mean
It
emotional?
takes time. Right. It takes time, man. I mean, you might be able to write say a whole song in 30 minutes, right? But to find that right sound to go with that rap or your vocals, whatever, might take a minute. Don't quit.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? What this bam, I'm bringing this to the table, they bringing this to the table. You don't go to a steak restaurant, right? And okay, I want a steak medium rare. They bring that shit out and it's well done. Take it back. You still hungry? Wait, have some patience. Get exactly what the fuck you want. Is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
You heard me? Hell yeah. What would your life be without the music, Can? Can?
Shit. I be working on air conditioning and shit. It'd be day in and day out. You know what I mean? I probably would have started my own like HVAC company.
That's that guap.
Yeah,
That's that guap. Now, a couple of
yeah.
moments ago, you mentioned leaving out of the booth at 3 o'clock, right? What's the longest time you spent on a track? You see what I'm saying? Like, what's the most time you spent on a track? You hear me?
Mm, yeah. I would say 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks, dog. I'll come back. What I like what I do a lot of times is when I start a beat, excuse me, I'll play it, play it, play it, and I'll walk away from it.
Why you
I
do
might
that?
shut the computer so to see if it still has the same, if it still does the same thing for me when I first started it.
Wait, repeat that, cause I might fuck with that. I might fuck with that with the
Yeah.
rhyme. Repeat that one more time.
Okay. I'll start a beat. Like, okay, for example, I got a bunch of sticky notes and shit over here. Look, right? These are beats that I started last week. I'll go through them and review them and be like, I don't really like that. Scrap. I like this, but it needs this. I fine tune them. I don't just try to like. It's not fast food. You did slam the burger together, get it out the window. Nah, I don't do it like that, man. I may finish a beat in a day, but it has to like if it's cohesive from start, then yeah, it might be done in an hour. But if it's something like, I want to take this beat somewhere else, I'll walk away from the shit, man, and then come back later to make sure that it gives me the same vibe it gave me when I first started the beat.
Have you ever been signed?
Yeah, yeah. When I was a
Was
teenager, yeah,
a teenager?
yeah. When I
Take
was
us
a
through that.
teenager,
How was that experience? You
I
hear me?
I don't. A lot of these cats ain't gonna know, but there was a rapper called Nonchalant. She was a chick out of DC. Her management team signed me. Yeah, yep. This was shit back in the '90s, dog. Uh, I had an opportunity years ago as for an intern with Rap a Lot. Yeah,
Why you ain't take it?
it just fell through, man. That's why I say life
Mm.
happens. I couldn't get the houses. That's the easiest way to put it. I couldn't get the houses down in Houston. That's why it fell through.
When something big like that falls through, how do you shake back from that? You heard me? Like, what brought you back from that? A lot of people would have got discouraged. A lot of people would have been like, you know what I'm saying, I missed my chance, this and that. You heard me? How did you shake back from that?
Stay out of your emotions. Yeah.
Mm.
That's what's wrong with a lot of people, man. If they're too emotional, stay out of your emotions. You got to be thick-skinned, man. Especially if your ass is a parent. If you got kids, you got to lead by example. You can't be around and whining and crying and oh, it's woe is me and all that shit. You got to have thick skin, dog. That's what this is. Like, especially the rap game, it's criticized based, start to finish. You can be a platinum selling artist. There's still gonna be the same amount of people that hate your ass.
They lift you up to tear you down.
There you go. You gotta
Hell
you
yeah.
gotta have thick skin, man. You gotta have thick skin, uh, and and stay focused. Because hating will cause you to be derailed, man. There you go. I was disappointed. Yeah, I was disappointed, but that didn't stop me from keep making music, dog.
What happened with that?
It fell through. I couldn't get the housing. I was supposed to go down there and stay with a cousin, right? And that shit fell through.
That's cool.
So
You
I
heard
was
me?
packed. I look, dog. I was packed up and everything. And the night before my flight, that nigga called me and said I couldn't stay with him.
Wait, what?
Yeah, yeah,
Damn. So did that
yeah.
discourage you? Did that discourage you in any way, or like, is the plan to stay underground? You know what I'm saying? Or if that right deal come along, you gonna take it? You heard me?
If the right thing pop, I'm all for it, man. You know what I mean? But I'm a firm believer in things happen for a certain reason. You know what I mean? Could have went down there and that shit could have been messy. Who knows?
That's a
You know what I
fact.
mean? But
That's a
at the
fact.
moment, yeah, I'm disappointed, but I kept my head up, man, and stayed focused, dog. I mean, shit. I mean, you get disappointed every day. You know what I mean? You might be like, shit,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go get
yeah.
me I'm gonna run up to the store and get me some swishes. You go up there, they don't have no swishes. You go to the next store, right?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So from you, like you say you're not a super producer, right? But you are. You know what I'm saying? What all goes into being a good producer? You know what I'm saying? If all right, let's get the gumbo pot. You know what I'm saying? What are your ingredients of a good producer in this gumbo pot? You see what I'm saying?
Understand sound. Under,
What,
yeah, understand sound, man. I want to give a
what you
shout
mean?
out real quick to Rick Rock Beat. Okay, he's done a lot of stuff for like E40 and shit like that. That guy understands sound, man. You see what I'm saying? You should be able to rap to a bird chirping. If that chirp hits, you should be able to rap to a bird chirping, dog. Or you know, uh, like I said earlier, we tapped on the lunch table. There you go, man. You gotta understand. It's what you said, gumbo. Throw them
Yeah.
ingredients in and see which one works best. You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
fact. That's a fact. How did you find yourself in this music? You heard me? Like, how did you turn yourself into Kennedy Beats when you turned yourself into Kennedy Beats? You see what I'm saying? What did you find out about yourself that got you going hard like you do? Because you don't miss. You see what I'm saying?
Discipline.
When did you
Discipline.
elaborate? Elaborate.
Uh, nothing or nobody can derail me, man. Period. Nothing or nobody can derail me, man. I saw a video about a year ago, right, of a old dude that's handicapped from the waist down. He in the studio making beats, right? Nothing or nobody You gotta stay focused. Like I used to tell dudes when I was a little bit younger, uh, you could chase that girl, but if she ain't on your program, that's gonna be a problem. You will get derailed. There you go. You gotta stay. Whatever you set your mission out to be, you gotta accomplish that mission at all costs. Period.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. I know it's a lot of them, right? But do you have a favorite track that you made, or a top
Yeah,
five or something like that?
yeah. I got a bunch of them, man. A
Give us your
bunch of them
top
that I
five.
like.
Give me your top five.
An old track I did called Showtime.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, one called
Ditto.
Testosterone.
I like that ditto.
Ditto is
That.
tight. Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that. I like
yeah.
that. I like that. You know what I'm
I got an
saying?
old track that I keep pitching to people that I think they should get on. It's called Drama. You should check that shit out,
Mm,
dog.
that's a
Yeah,
fact. That's a fact. You heard me?
yeah.
So I like how you market yourself. You know what I'm saying? You heard me?
Mhm.
What all goes into you marketing your beats? You heard me? Like, do you have a certain way to do it? You heard me? Like on the internet, this and that. You heard me? Or you know what I'm saying? What all goes into you marketing your beats, and what all goes into you? Do you find the artist, or do the artist find you?
It worked both. Like I'll get a DM from somebody and be like, "Yo, man, I checked out your work. Boom, boom. I had a couple guys this week. Hey, yo, man, what do you charge? This and that. I only set a price just in case somebody that just randomly is online looking for a beat to buy it. But if I fuck with you, I agree with you. Yeah, we'll work out the
That's a
details
fact.
later. You know
That's
what
a
I mean?
fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. So looking
It
back, I
don't do me
asked
no
all
good
this.
because I don't rap. You know what I mean? I mean, what good is it gonna for me to have a ton of beats and I'm just,
That's a
you know what I
fact.
mean?
That's a fact. You hear me? So you said earlier, yes, I'm saying you went from an artist to a producer. Was that a hard transition? You know what I'm saying? Like take us through that transition from your artistry to the producer. And so you don't rap no more, period?
Period.
It's a
Period.
fact. That's a fact. It's a
I
fact.
was
Take
in
us
a
through that
group.
transition. Hmm.
Okay, I was in a group. It was like five of us. We did a performance, and I watched how the crowd reacted to the other guys rapping versus me. But I saw them nodding their heads to the beat. So I was like, I made the beat. That's my lane. Everybody can't be a general, right? You got to have a
Yes, sir.
lieutenant. There you go. You gotta have your foot soldiers. You play your position. I don't have a problem playing a position. We did a show and I was like, we did a couple of shows and I was like, damn, I'm not getting the same, feedback as the other guys getting. I didn't hate, but they loved the track. Who did the beat? I did the beat. Bam. Okay, maybe I should be doing beats instead of trying to rap. Play your
You found
position.
yourself. You
There you
found yourself.
go. I mean, right. You might, and let's look at sports. How many people were, say, a forward when they were in high school playing basketball, but then when they get to the NBA, they end up being a point guard? There you go. You play
Or
your
strong
position.
safety and end up being a
Right,
linebacker. That's a fact.
right.
That's a
There you
fact.
go. Play your
That's a
position.
fact.
That's why I say take the ego out of it. I didn't want to be up there just so I could get groupies and niggas. Nah. It was the love
That's
of
a
the
fact.
art form, man. So shit, man. People are fucking with these beats. I'm doing the beats. I might as well do. This should be what I focus on, and that's what I did. It wasn't hard. I didn't have a problem. There was no hating, nothing. And niggas was, and when I was in the group, they accepted. They was like, "Oh yeah, you're right." Bam, there you go.
What happened to the group?
We broke up, man. A lot of the dudes. Let me see. Uh, some of them end up having kids, and life took on this. A couple guys went to military, that kind of shit. Just that teenage shit.
By that tragedy. So I ask all this all the time, right? From now till then, right? What are some of the differences, like I tell them in their flow, you know what I'm saying, in their cadences, you know what I'm saying? What are some of the differences that you notice in your tracks from now You heard me? Then back then, you know what I'm saying? Like, take us through your maturity through this thing. You heard me?
Okay. Uh, I'll put it like this: you find your stroke.
It, elaborate.
Right,
Elaborate.
right. You find your stroke. You okay? You make the. We'll use beats. Okay, you put the beats out. You see what feedback you get off of certain beats that you do. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are saying, man, boom boom. Like I like drum and bass, that hard shit. But I tend to find when I make beats, I have more melodic shit in it. That's what I get the best feedback on. Yo, man, I like that guitar or that flute, that kind of shit. But me, if I was a rap, me personally, if I was rapping, I want heavy drum, 808, boom, knock. But that's not the beats that I make. You see what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
I like different elements. I think a beat should tell a story. It should make whoever is on that beat right to it.
That's a fact. That's a fact. What's next for you? You know what I'm saying? You did the break dancing thing, you did the rap thing, you know what I'm saying? You've been doing the beats, you see what I'm saying? What's next for you? You heard me? Or is it the next? You heard me?
Shit, man. I just want to try to create like different products and shit, man. You know what I mean? I'm looking into try to get my own like headphones
Oh,
or
wait,
even
hold up.
fucking
Wait. My
yeah,
bad, right?
man.
How the fuck you got into the hot sauce and the coffee shit? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a big step from a rapper, producer, natural product. You see what I'm saying? Like, what made you make that jump? You heard me? And tell us about the business. You see what I'm saying? Like, what should we
You
know
drink
from
coffee?
you?
Do you drink coffee?
When I'm in jail.
There you go. There
You see
you
what I'm
go.
saying?
You use hot sauce?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's everyday shit. That's where your money comes from. That's everyday shit. You gotta find something that's everyday that brings you money every day. The money's supposed to work for you. You're not supposed to work for the money. That's old time shit, man. Everybody, I mean, 8 out of 10 people use hot sauce. Shit, at my job, everybody, and there's 12 of us at my job, all of them drink coffee. Fuck. I might as well give them a product, bam, with my brand on it. You dig
You
what I'm
fucking
saying?
right. You fucking right. You see what I'm
Okay,
saying? So,
who can make the jingle for my coffee or my hot sauce?
me, I got you.
Me.
I got you.
There you go. Right. If I make
Don't ask
music,
nobody else.
every
I
every
got you.
every advertisement has music. I make the music and the product.
That's a fact. That's a
There you
fact.
go.
So from maturing in the game, right? Did your goals change? You see what I'm saying? Like your goal when you first entered this bitch, right? Is that still the goal now? Have you completed that goal and moved on to another one, or is the motive still the same? You heard me?
Now the goal is still the same. The only thing with it is the goal post move.
Is
You
moving?
know what I mean? The
No,
goalposts constantly
elaborate.
move. It's like, okay, it's like football, right? You want you it's 1st and 10, and you on the 20-yard line. You know you need to get to the 30-yard line to get another 1st and 10, right?
Yes, sir.
Until you get the touchdown. There you go. You
What
see what
was
I'm
the most
saying?
difficult? What was the most difficult point of these 15 years? You see what I'm saying? The start, the build, or now?
The build.
What was so
Finding your
difficult about
lane.
the build?
It's
What was
finding
so
your
difficult
niche.
about that?
Finding your niche. Like finding your sound. Like, what's my sound? I don't want to sound like everybody else. I respect everybody else, but I don't want to sound like everybody else. Like, you got to put tight beat on your beat, so it gets in the algorithm. But I don't really want to sound like DJ Premier or Pete Rock or Manny Fresh or something like that. I respect them, but I don't necessarily want to sound like you don't never want to be a carbon copy. You ain't gonna last long being a carbon copy.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So moving into the business, the food business, right? Take us through your ventures in that. You see what I'm saying? What's some of the ins and outs that you learned, you know what I'm saying? And what's the most important lesson that you've learned from selling food goods? You heard me?
Marketing, marketing.
Marketing.
That's the hard. Yeah, that's the hardest part. Because you're the people closest to you are being like, ah, that he's just
That
fucking
was my
around.
next question. Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It's marketing. It's always gonna be the strangers that's gonna give you the up and up. They're gonna be the
So
ones
you
that's
just
gonna be
answered the
like,
question. Yeah, because I was about to say, a lot of artists that I interviewed, they say a stranger will make you rich. You see what I'm
yep,
saying? Out of
yep,
town is gonna catch on, and your hometown is gonna catch on. You see what I'm saying?
yep,
After that, do
yep,
you agree with that?
yep,
Did that happen in your career like that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
will a stranger make you rich before your people?
Look, the first beat I ever sold was out of
Hmm.
Russia.
So you
Some
international?
motherfucking international. Yeah, most of the beats that I sell are like Poland, Russia, Japan, Argentina, Mexico. It's out of the country. Most of them.
That's a
Yeah,
fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. What's the difference in the business? Is that for your hot sauce and your coffee as well?
everything international.
Is it a different way that they do business internationally than in the states? You know what I'm saying, or is it all the same?
It's different from really country to country. You know what I mean? Uh, I know, for example, South America is big on coffee versus Europe is big on tea. You dig what I'm saying? And so it's about marketing, like and you always got to have a like however many point plan, whether you're putting out a new single. You've done tours, right? You've been to different cities. You start off with
You
the city
already
that give
know.
you the most love,
Yeah,
right? You
yeah,
know what I mean? If
yeah.
you go to say Memphis and they all on your shit, you need to start your shit in Memphis. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And then work your way to the lowest fan base. You dig what I'm saying? That's one of the things I had to learn big time. I mean, I thought because 100 niggas knew me in DC that yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, it don't work like that.
that's a
The
fact.
other
That's a
people will
fact.
pay where these people want the free shit. You see what I'm saying? And
If you had a choice,
also
go
sorry, go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It,
It's your world.
also, no matter what service you provide, whether you rapping or selling food or clothes, you're gonna have to give some away free. Yep.
Um, good customer service. You know what I'm saying? How important is that to you dealing with people abroad? You know what I'm saying? Dealing with all these different people. You know what I'm saying? How important is good customer service? You know what I'm saying? Really bringing the customer what you say you're gonna bring them. How important is that?
That's numero uno, dog. That's 100%, man. If you got bad customer service, people ain't gonna keep fucking with you. They might give you a chance here and there at one or two chances, but after that, they ain't fucking with you. You
Now
see
I
what
be
I'm saying?
hearing P. You know, P and Snoop, they got the cereals, they got the noodles, and all of that. And he say like, you know what I'm saying, they don't really won't let them in the door. You know what I'm saying? For the
Hmm.
food goods, right? Is that difficult? You know what I'm saying? Being a entrepreneur, black man, and like they own that food shit. You know what I'm saying? So is it difficult maneuvering around in that food? You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta find your dude, get in where you fit in, or it's just all out corral, you know what I mean?
I try to keep my face off of like especially like the food shit. You see what I'm saying? Like some people might be biased to be like, I ain't buying this dope coffee from no nigga. You know what I'm saying? So
That's a fact
whew,
though. That's a fact.
right. So I keep my face off that shit until the numbers start running. Then you can throw your face on it. Have a logo, have a brand, and be biased. Don't, yeah, man, be biased. Like I don't say, oh, because I sell coffee, I'm gonna just target this. Nah, I've had people buy some of the coffee just because they like the artwork that's on the coffee.
The presentation.
There you go.
That's a fact. Where we can find this shit at? Where can we find your beats? Where can we find your coffee? You heard me? Where can
When
we
you go,
find that hot sauce?
uh, the beats, obviously, you go to YouTube, Kennedy Law Beat 74, Beat Stars, Kennedy Law Beat. The coffee is that Roastified, Kennedy Law Beat. Everything is Kennedy Law Beat. If you put in Kennedy Law, if you Google Kennedy Law Beat, all the stores for the beats and the merch, the hot sauce and the coffee will come up.
What went into your name, Kennedy Low?
That's my last name.
Okay, that's a fact. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
yeah.
You know
And my pop, when I was coming up as a kid,
what I mean?
anything he said, when he said something, he was like, "That's the law.
That's
Take out
love.
the trash, cut the grass. That's the law."
That's love.
So that's how I
That's
adapted it.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So before we get up out of here, man, you know what I'm saying? From you being the OG, from you being, I know you done ran into a lot of different people doing a lot of like all overseas and things like that. You heard me? What do you think is the key to your success, both in the food and in the producing? You see what I'm saying? And how can we be as successful as you? Give us some game before we get up out of here. You heard me?
Discipline, 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 discipline. Dog. You gotta have discipline. I mean, if you say I'm gonna work on this track every day after work, I fuck with something, either the merchandise or the music or both. Discipline. You can't get off work or get out of school or whatever the fuck you do during the day and go home and just watch a basketball game. That ain't gonna get you there, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's discipline, man. If you want it, you got to be putting in the work. You can't go home and relax. Shit, you want to relax? Fire you up a patty, chill for a minute, and get to work. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
I have my
fact.
little drink and shit and chill for a minute, jump in the shower, whatever, get out the shower, and you got to constantly thinking about what's next and stay focused. And you got to you got to cut the fat. Like everybody got people around them that ain't for you. You got to clip them.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So before we get out of here, you know what I'm saying? Kennedy Beach, you know what I'm saying? You can find them on YouTube, Instagram, and what else? And can you tell them how to spell that, please? You know what I'm saying?
All right, it's Kennedy. It's Cannady. Law Beach. LAW Beach. Kennedy Law Beach, man.
That's a fact.
You search me on Google, everything will come up.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You heard me? So before we get up out of here, you heard me? You got the beats, you got the hot sauce, and you got the coffee, right? Are you looking to expand your food business thing into anything else?
Yeah,
You heard me?
yeah,
What you
yeah,
got planning? You heard me? What you got planning?
man.
What you got planning?
I'm working on bottled water, uh, the sports drinks, all that shit, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. And look, I got women's yoga pants. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
And where can we find the merchandise? Where can we find the merch? The same place as the tracks?
Thank yeah. All
That's a
everything is
fact.
linked all in, man. If you go to my if you watch a YouTube one of my beat videos, the links in the description. Just click the link and it'll take you straight to the store.
That's a fact, man. So it's been a vibe, Kennedy, man. It's been a pleasure working with you as well. Y'all could
Right
expect
on.
two EPs from us and my artists. We love Kennedy over here. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
That's
trying to
it,
sign.
man.
Yeah, I'm trying to exclusive. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to knock everybody out the park. You heard me? And just
Bet.
exclusive 24/7 God FC. You know what I'm saying? So
Bet.
let them know. Shout out the hometown. You know what I'm saying? And speak on hard work, dedication, and you spoke on having tough skin and being able to take creative with that is constructive criticism, right?
Right.
How did you get
Right.
such tough skin to take this constructive criticism, and how do you decipher constructive criticism from just a nigga hating? You know what I'm saying? And we gonna get up out of here.
You can tell the difference between constructive criticism and hating. One, by constructive criticism comes from people who know what the fuck they talking about. It You know what I'm saying? Like versus just some random person saying something. Okay, you don't like it, you don't like it. That's cool. But look, if I want to be a heart surgeon, I'm not gonna hang around auto mechanics, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you rap, you want criticism from rappers. You know what I mean? Not from some
Right.
nigga that's trying to be a lawyer, man. I mean, that's just how it works.
That's a
You know what
fact,
I'm
man.
saying?
I love that. I love that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I haven't named the EPs yet, but they 5 songs each, and we coming with some heat. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Yeah.
pleasure working with you. You see what I'm saying? And man, just stay tuned. You see what I'm saying? Just stay tuned.
Will do.
I'm gonna get at you after this because I gotta have some of
Okay.
that coffee. My brother, I got a twin. My brother fuck with the coffee. You know what I'm saying? I
Okay.
fuck with the hot sauce. You see me? You
All
want to
right.
tell some prices, or you want to just want them to go on the you know what I'm saying, respective websites and find out?
The coffee, the ground is 13.99, and then like the pods are $15, man. The hot sauce is a decent sized bottle. That's about $15 as well.
That's
Yeah,
gangster, dog. You got hot sauce and coffee. That's gangster.
that's it, man. And
That's
it's
gangster.
about brand networking, man. That's it.
And you're a great networker too. I be seeing you. I be seeing you. You know what I'm saying? I be
Yeah.
getting jealous. I be getting jealous because they be getting your beats, but it's cool. You're a great networker. You
All
know
you
what I'm
got to do,
saying?
I told you, man. All you got to do is let me know. Hey, I want that one, and it comes down.
Yeah, and I say, brother, like ever since we met, you kept it all the way 100. You kept it all the way real. You know what I'm saying? Kept it up front. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? You just a real one, dog. It's been a pleasure working with you. You know what I'm saying? And I
Right
hope
on.
that other people reach out to you from this interview. You see what I'm saying? Because he do his thing.
Yeah.
You heard me? Kennedy Law Beats. You see what I'm saying? P. Not the General. You heard me? Coming soon. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's P. Not the
Yes,
General.
sir.
To know of the podcast. You keep your body clean, huh?
Uh.
Yeah. Great interview, candidate.
All right, bro. All right, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.